Hi everyone. In this video, we'll show you how you can add services to your teams and add integrations for monitoring those services, creating incidents, and acknowledging and resolving those incidents. So let's go ahead and create a service for our team. To add a new service, click on the Add Service button and give your service a name and a description, and add all the integrations, all the tools that are monitoring that particular service, and also assign an escalation policy for that service. As you can see, I've already created a service called Android Production, and while creating that service, I added Sentry and Datadog as my two integrations. I can also go ahead and maybe add another integration. I can add a Grafana integration to this particular service as well. Let's go ahead and save this integration. To configure an integration, simply click on the configure button, and you'll see that there's a configure tab which will contain the configure instructions. So in the case of Sentry, I can just go ahead and copy this webhook URL, go to Sentry in the webhook section and simply paste this URL and enable the plugin. So whenever Sentry detects any issues in my Android production environment, it'll basically create an incident for the Android prod service. Now, while configuring this particular integration, I can just go ahead and maybe set the default urgency for this incident. Since the production level service, I'd set the urgency as high, and I'll basically create incidents for critical alerts only. So the status is enabled and it's already saved. Now let's go ahead and create a particular error that will be captured by Sentry. So I'm just going to go ahead and basically create an exception in my Python environment, which will then be captured by Sentry. So as you can see that an incident has been triggered. So if I go ahead and click on incident number 2, you'll see that global name B is not defined. The exception has been basically created an incident in Zenduty against the Android prod service. So if I go and see who is on call currently, you'll see that Voja and Kevin are on call, and the incident was assigned to Voja. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the escalation policy that this service was linked to. So if I go to the service settings, I see that the escalation policy is the production escalation policy. In the production escalation policy, you'll see that the initial on-call engineers are Voja and whomsoever is on the SRE EMEA team schedule. So you'll see exactly who's on call in the who's on call section right here. Going back to the incident, you'll be able to see a whole bunch of details, basically the name of the error and also a link to the Sentry issue, so that you can just go and straight away dig into the Sentry dashboard. Apart from that, for every single integration, whenever an incident is created, Zenduty also provides you with a very detailed payload that you can sort of drill down into and basically help you deep dive and reach your root cause analysis soon. To acknowledge the incident, simply click on the acknowledge button. To assign an incident to another member of the team, simply click on the assign to button and search for your team member, and the incident will be assigned to that team member. I can go ahead and acknowledge or resolve from right here. There's an acknowledge and resolve button right here. Now, whenever any user acknowledges a particular incident, the incident is automatically assigned to that user. So if I go ahead and acknowledge this incident, it's automatically assigned to me, that is Michael Scott, the current user. Zenduty also provides a detailed timeline of every incident. So right from the time an incident is triggered by the service, you'll be able to see exactly who was notified through which notification channel at what time. Whenever there's any change in state, that is, if there is the incident goes from the triggered state to the acknowledged state, or the acknowledged state to the resolved state, or whenever any new whenever anybody new is assigned to this incident, all the data is captured within the timeline, as you can see right here. To resolve the incident, simply click on the resolve button. A few things to note. Zenduty will basically go through the entire notification rule chain until the time an incident is acknowledged. So it will basically keep escalating the incident until the incident is acknowledged. You can also add a note to the incident so that other members may be able to see. Additionally, you can also add responders to the incident. We will be covering responders in our subsequent videos. You can go to the alert log tab on the top to see all the alerts generated by all the services and all the integrations. So alert logs are basically every single alert that is generated, or every single notification, or every single piece of data that's coming in from all these integrations. So whenever an incident or whenever an error is created in Sentry, Sentry sends an alert payload, which in turn creates an incident on Zenduty. So the alert log is basically a unified dashboard of all alerts throughout your Zenduty account. In our next video, we'll show you how you can configure alert rules and basically route it to different escalation policies or different users, or change the escalation path depending on various parameters in the alert body. Thank you for watching.